Mhm. Oh, ha. Okay. I'm live. All right, good. Boom. Good to be here. Good for. I didn't see the thing that says you're live show up. So good morning, people. Good morning, guten Morgen. That's not the right way to pronounce it, but anyway, here we are, Department of Your Life. Not really, but here we are. It's Friday morning. It's about 6 o'clock. On a cool, crisp day here in southwestern Nevada, west of Sin City and east of Death Valley, cradled in the middle, Pahrump or Pahrumpertucky, you choose. Good morning, Diana. How are things in Portland, Fort Port? How are things up there? Let's see, our meme of today is good, fast, cheap. Pick two. Right, we'll get into that a little bit later. When we talk about our purpose for being here is to help our students and interested people on their journey through this life. That's it. No big deal. Actually, it is a big deal because that's where it is. It was a conversation I had with one of our people yesterday. It was, you're focusing on years, you're focusing on the here and now, not eternity. This little stuff doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter. So, so our goal is to help you on your journey through this life. And we do it, and I would say today I'm going to say three primary ways. One is just showing up for the camaraderie. So my hunch is Wada Bevy is very good at showing up. My hunch is that she's at work. Maybe I got a text message from her. Who knows? No. So one is showing up. See how that works? She's not here, and we miss her. Where is she? Where is she? Where are the other people? Where's Maticus von Atticus? Where is Mamori? So it's showing up for the other people, to know other people care. That's one. Two, habit, routine. That's kind of the most important thing to moving forward in life, is to build better habits. Build better habits. Show up every day. Build better habits. And then you have the meta habit, or the proto habit. I'm going to call it the proto habit before that habit, which is to get in the habit of always doing things better, slightly better. Never slide back unless you're trying something different or new, but building better habits. And then the third thing, the practical thing, the pragmatic thing, is the worksheet. The worksheet down below. So consistency is good, but you want to be consistently better. You don't want to go backwards. You want people to be able to depend upon you and count upon you. So if you show up every day, people can count on you and depend upon you. And I get it. Life is hard. You can't always show up every day. I get it. But I have a pretty good record over the last 14 years of showing up for the podcast when we do them. It's just part of my daily routine, which is okay, cool. But anyway, that's how we do it. We do it through building community, building a tribe, through repetition, building better habits, and learning. So that's the worksheet. Okay, 4 minutes and 28 seconds in. Again, our meme for today, the theme of today is better. No, not better. It's good, fast, cheap. Good, fast, cheap. Pick two. Good, fast, cheap. You get to have two, but not three. However, before we get into that, advice from an 80-year-old: always accept an outstretched hand. Not really sure if I agree with that, meaning the keyword being always. Not sure if I agree with the always part. Had kind of an interesting situation yesterday where somebody did something that, if were true, would compromise my values, and kind of had a little bit of a time processing on it. Like, this guy did something. Do I need to go set it right? Do I need to set this thing right, or can I just ignore it? That it wasn't done in spite. Well, Diana, I appreciate that. I think that's good. And I think if you go back, I don't think I have missed a day since Amargosa. So when we start, I don't know that we've missed a day. Good morning, Mamori. Memento mori, memento memori, memento memori. An important Stoic phrase. Memento memori, memento memori. Pretty good. Memento memori. Rolls off the tongue well. Okay, glad that you are here. Glad that you are here, memori, memento mori, memento memori. These Americans, they say memory, but I say memory. It sounds better, more special. Okay, meme of today is good, fast, cheap, pick two. But before that, what does Seth Godin talk to us about? What do you have for him, Johnny? Clear ice. What? I love Zamboni machines. They're ungainly, they're slow, but they're also majestic, like an elephant for ice hockey. After each period, when the ice is chipped up by play, the Zamboni rolls out and leaves behind a sheet of perfect ice, cold, smooth, and untouched. It's useful to acknowledge that the same service is offered to each of us every night. We wake up in the morning with a freshly smoothed over day in front of us. I don't know. Some people wake up, I think, with Our intentions determine our first few moves. The way we'll engage with today's ice, with those moves often lead to the next ones, and on until the day is over. Add up enough clear ice days and the pattern becomes set. Okay, that's one of those thinking things. So we've got, what is this, day 3? If you count Tuesday. If you count Tuesday, you got Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Day 3, President Trump is already out there doing things, making things happen. Boom, boom, boom. He's got people. I saw Vivek on something last night. Really, really good. Vivek is really good. It's going to be interesting to see where he shakes out. People were putting in the comments, Attorney General. Smart guy. Okay, next. Well, do we have to do it? Do we have to do the meme of today? Good, fast, cheap, pick two. What a baby. Hi. This is Liz. Your daughter said a lot of great things about you. Hi, hello, Liz. Welcome to our daily podcast. So I would suggest going back to the beginning, if this is your first time here, I would suggest going back to the beginning so you know what we're all about, because we're now about to get into today's meme theme of today. And I would say our goal is to help our students and other people move forward on this journey through life, where this is not all there is. We are not just atoms in the void. I had this discussion with my small group in class yesterday, one of which was a nun from India. She was not raised as Hindu. She was raised as Catholic in India and knew a little bit about the Hindu caste system, but surprisingly not a lot. So it's kind of like You have people over there who know their religion, but they don't know other religions. So this was a Catholic nun, and we were talking about theology. And what was interesting to me, I got a process on it today, was the other 23 people in the class. They seemed to have a view of, you want to get to heaven, the Bible tells you what you need to do, and you got to focus on the Bible as opposed to focus on doing the things that parts of the Bible say to do. And I would say the parts are the things that Jesus said to do. I have to go get ready for an appointment. I will finish watching later. Okay. Interesting. What time is it? What time is it where you are? 6 o'clock. Okay. So, without further ado, I'm going to end that subject of class last night and talk about good, fast, cheap. This is a thing to think of in life. So the story is, and I heard this many, many years ago, John Landis, who was a good hotshot director. I think his biggest one was Animal House. And then he just kind of didn't really see much of John Landis after that. But at film school, I think he went to UCLA Film School. Might have gone to the other good one, USC. But he, day one, class one, film school, the instructor puts on the board, he draws a triangle, and at each end of the triangle, he puts a word. At the top is good. Over here is fast and cheap. So you might do that if you have a pencil or a piece of paper in front of you. If you're prepared, if you're actually prepared, pen in front of you. So you draw a triangle, right? And you put good, fast, cheap. Right? Good, fast, cheap. And the message from the instructor was, you get to pick two. You're making a movie, you get to pick two, but you don't get the third one. So if you want it to be good and fast, it won't be cheap. If you want it to be good and cheap, it won't be fast. If you want it fast and cheap, it won't be good. So you get to have two of the three. You get to choose. And I think, and this is kind of, why is this the meme of today? Because of Darren Hardy down below, red letter down below in the worksheet. How to get what you want. So he talked about some negotiating tactics and tips, but that reminded me of good, fast, cheap. Good, fast, cheap. You get to pick two. How does that work in life? Well, you can apply it to life. You can have good friends, and they can be fast friends, but it won't be cheap. You'll really have to put a lot of energy into developing that. Or it can be good friends, and it can be not a lot of investment, but it's not going to be fast. It's going to take years to develop that. And you could have a fast, cheap relationship. You don't have a lot invested. Oh, I just met this person on the bus. They're my best friend. Okay, they're not going to be a good friend. So you can go back to Laertes and Polonius, and Laertes' advice to Polonius, or vice versa. I don't remember who's who in Hamlet, giving advice to his son. Don't try to make friends fast. Don't make friends by being the one who spends money at the bar or on them. So, and when you have them, bind them to you like hoops of steel, so you don't lose your friends in life. Good, fast, cheap. Everything we do, we can think of it both ways. Sometimes it's good to be fast and cheap. They don't always have to be good. Sometimes you just need to get it done. Get it over with because it's the next thing. It's the next thing. So with me, for example, on my papers for school, I have to turn in a paper every week. And then I have to turn in 2 bigger papers, 2 papers that are bigger papers. And then I have to turn in 1 final paper. Persimmon. I received a box of persimmons from my daughter, Roxanne, and her husband, Zach. They have a tree that apparently has 300, so they sent me about 20 persimmons. Chinese tongue twister, 77 persimmon seeds. That's all I know in Chinese, people. Okay, good, fast, cheap. So, good, fast, cheap. You get to have 2. Think about that today. Just plant that in your soul. So, anyway, on my papers, sometimes it's good to be fast and cheap, not put a lot of energy into it, because there's 10 points for every weekly paper. There's 100 points for the 2 other papers, and there's like 300 points for the final paper. So if I put a lot of energy into the weekly papers and not the 2 other papers, and it's not that hard to get a 10 is the point, because it's only 10 points. So from the instructor's perspective, it's mainly just seeing that you're putting things on, you're putting ink on paper, as they say. You're putting ink on paper, and it has to do with the subject that is at hand. That's it. That you're on point, you're on topic, the professor can see that you've read the paper, read the 200 pages or enough of the 200 pages to see that you're making progress. You're not just thinking you're going to do it. But it's only 10 points per paper. You got 10 papers you have to write. That's 100 points. And the amount of work you do to get the 100 points could be way more than a 100-point paper. So anyway, good, fast, cheap. And the idea in the class is you have 1 300-point paper at the end. So the idea is put a lot of energy, thought, thinking into that, except you can't really until you get towards the end of the class because you don't know what you're doing. But anyway, who cares about that? We're 18 minutes in. It's getting time to end this. Liz, I would say my best advice to you is to continue to show up every day. Some days are going to be better than the norm. So I'm not saying they're good. They're just going to be better. But the thing is, the key is to show up every day. Make it part of your routine. It's about building better habits and showing up every day that you can, or at least watching the video every day that you can, is building a better habit. Building better habits. That's what it is. If you have the habit, what is a habit? Habit is unconscious behavior. It's like driving a car. Most of the time we're driving a car. We're not consciously driving a car once we get into a certain place, right? You're going to park the car, you're going to start the car, you're consciously engaged. But once you're on the road, you can start thinking about other things, or brushing your teeth, right? We're consciously brushing our teeth when we put the toothpaste on the brush and we go like this. But as soon as it's on our teeth, our routine, our toothbrushing subroutine kicks in, and we are unconscious about brushing our teeth. This is one of the great things about humans. We can do things unconsciously, sort of, but not really, like multitasking. This is programming your brain to do things unconsciously. And we want to go to the next level, which is to unconsciously to have the habit of always doing it, the habits a little bit better. Not just like, well, here's, I brush my teeth like this every day. No, the idea would be to have a proto habit below the habit of, when I brush my teeth, I want to do it just a little bit better every day, a little bit more efficient. Figure out what is the best pattern I can do to brush my teeth in 2 minutes if you have the new type of toothbrush toothbrushes that automatically every 30 seconds they give a pulse, and then after 2 minutes they're up. So figure out what is the optimum toothbrushing protocol pattern to do it. So that's what you want to do, Liz and Memento Mori and Diana, if you're there, if anyone is there. Hello, is anyone there? I'm going to say cut because we've gone over our limit. Now we've got to pay extra. It's going to cost 10 cents.